What's up, guys? Today's video is all about a full week of workouts for busy, high achievers, professionals who struggle to map out a systemized and organized fitness routine. So I'm gonna take you through 3 main workouts. I call it push-pull legs, show you a full week, everything you need to know from the exercises to do, the sets, the reps, and I'm even gonna throw in some bonuses throughout the video of how to change workouts out or change exercises out if you're traveling, if you don't have the equipment that I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna break it all down for you in today's video. Now, my name is Josiah Novak. I own a company called The True Transformation. We help guys become champions inside of their health and fitness using sustainable, enjoyable, and effective methods that don't require you to sacrifice family time, work time, or social time. In fact, the times that you do the important stuff like work, family, social life, that will actually become better and more enhanced, and you'll actually feel 10 times more clear and energized when you're with the people you care about. Now, I've been working with guys like yourself for the better part of 20 years. Became a personal trainer back in 2004. My mission is to show you how to use fitness to improve all parts of your life. Because I believe health is true wealth. If you're out there crushing it in your career, your business, your family, the last thing you want is your health to derail the big goals that you have. So one of the biggest problems that guys face is setting up a workout plan that's actually sustainable. So instead of just showing you some exercises and a few key little tips and tricks, which of course we'll include in today's video, I want to break down a full week of workouts. So without further ado, do me a favor, like this video and save it if you want to come back and watch the whole thing, but make sure you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's jump into day number 1 as we break down the process of setting up your workouts. First things first, my guys who are busy, you're getting in the gym, you got a short window of time to get your workout done. Make sure you give yourself at least 3 to 5 minutes to warm up. Now, you don't need to spend an ungodly amount of time on the treadmill, on the bike like I am now, or the elliptical. 3 to 5 minutes just to get your heart rate up, just to get your body temperature up, will save you a lot of heartache and headache and avoid injury, all right? So a lot of guys just jump right into their workout. It's a big mistake. You want to prime your body to train. Now, what you'll see as we get into the exercises today, I start every single exercise, typically, at least the first few exercises, with a lighter set, all right? I don't jump into heavy weight, especially if I'm tired or if I didn't sleep well or I just have a lot of stress, have a lot of things going on. I will always make sure my first few exercises are a little bit lighter. So today is day number 1, and I call today push day. Now we're gonna give you a little bit of a unique perspective on push day. So push day is typically, in most circles of training, you train 3 muscle groups: chest, shoulders, and triceps, because those muscle groups push weight away from you, right? So that's why they call it push day. Today we are gonna train chest, shoulders, and triceps, but I'm also gonna add in another push, and that is gonna be our quads, because our quads push weight away, and our calves. So we're gonna actually do a modified full body workout, and this will save you a ton of time because you're covering more body parts in a day, and we're not gonna do a crazy amount of volume to start. I'm gonna show you some key exercises that will make sure you hit all those target muscle groups. We'll talk about sets and reps and all that cool stuff, but push doesn't just have to be upper body. You can actually include lower body too. The split that I'm gonna show you guys this week is push, pull, and then we're gonna do what's called a glute and density day, all right? So we're gonna make our physique pop a little bit more on day number 3 with a couple key exercises that most guys don't do for their glutes, for their traps, their upper back. Really wanna build that Greek god physique that I know a lot of you want, and improve your posture, feel better, get stronger, all that cool stuff. So anyway, do your warm up, make sure you crush your warm up, and then let's jump into exercise number 1. All right, guys, so warm up set is done now. I typically, on my first exercise, I like to do 2 warm up sets at least. So I do my first one real light, and then I wanna start testing out, where am I strength-wise today? So I'm gonna give you some recommendations for sets and reps right now, all right? So for this one, this is our main bread and butter for our push day, at least the upper body portion, okay? So we're gonna do 3 sets. We're gonna do 2 heavy sets. So I want you in 6 to 8 rep range. where you're failing, meaning you can't do another rep with perfect form, around 6 to 8 reps. You're gonna have to play around with weight a little bit to find out what that weight is for you. And this is a good reminder to track your weight when you're lifting weights, at least early on, because if you're trying to really make a transformation, it's good data to know, right? How much am I lifting week over week? So I can try to get stronger over time. Mentally, this keeps you in a good headspace too, because some days the scale's not gonna change, the mirror's not gonna look different, but you go in the gym and you're a little bit stronger. That can be a huge mental boost. So track your weight, at least early on. We're gonna do 2 heavier sets and we're gonna do a back off set. Now, I'm not telling you to lighten the weight and just do 1,000,000 reps on your 3rd set. A back off set is just taking off some of the weight and still going to failure, but this will help avoid some of the injuries that take place in some of the key moments in workouts where you start to really get fatigued. Your shoulders, your chest, everything's burning. And if you're really trying to push heavy on that last set, I see a lot of guys get hurt. So we're gonna back off a little bit and we're gonna aim for 10 to 12 reps on set number 3. Okay, you won't be able to go as heavy. So you warm up 2 sets, 2 heavy sets, and then a back off set of 10 to 12, all right? And then we're gonna move on to the next exercise. But I'm gonna knock out a couple working sets and then we'll move on to exercise number 2 and day 1 of our push day. So a good time to remind you guys that failure doesn't mean you eke out a rep with terrible form and one side's going up faster than the other. Failure is when you go, okay, I cannot do another rep with perfect form. So I stop the set. You wanna take your sets to where, form breakdown is really the biggest sign, but when we're trying to build muscle, we gotta send a signal to the body, right? To the brain, hey, we're pushing past your previous limits. So going to failure is a good thing. It doesn't need to be abused, meaning, once you take 1 or 2 sets to failure, that's gonna send enough of a muscle building signal for that day, for that muscle group, right? So I'm not gonna tell you to do 8 different exercises. As we get older, it's really about maintaining as much muscle, building a little bit over time, and really just keeping our physique healthy, okay? But failure is a good thing, so don't shy away from it. I know a lot of people are like, don't go to failure, it's too much. You wanna go to failure. You wanna have fatigue and you wanna have a signal sent to the body to build more muscle, right? That's all we're trying to do, is we're trying to signal the body, hey, we're getting stronger. You got to build more muscle to keep up. That's really it, okay? So let's do 1 more set and then we'll move on to the next exercise. All right, guys, so we did the Smith machine incline press. Really hit the chest and the shoulders and the triceps. Now we're isolating the shoulder. Shoulders need a lot of work. Don't want to ignore the sides and the backs of the shoulder. All right, guys, so we're 2 exercises in. We had our main bread and butter compound movement, incline Smith machine press. Remember, each exercise comes with sets and reps recommendations. So I'm gonna do the same recommendation as the first one for the side delt, all right? So 2 heavier sets, 6 to 8 reps, 1 back off set, 10 to 12 reps. All right, guys, I promised this workout and all the workouts would be designed for busy schedules, busy guys. I'm not trying to throw a ton of volume at you, right? If you have more time and you want to add things, totally fine. Most of these movements you can do with dumbbells. So if you're in a hotel and you don't have a Smith machine, you don't have a cable, same exact movement, just using dumbbells. All right, so incline dumbbell press, incline or side laterals with a dumbbell. And now we're doing, for isolating our triceps, we're doing an overhead cable extension. You can grab 1 dumbbell and just do the same exact movement pattern. So this is the thing that a lot of guys, at least just early on, don't quite understand. It's because you just don't know, right? I totally was in the same boat. It's all about the movement pattern, right? So don't get frustrated if you don't have a piece of equipment. I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day who was like, how do I do a sled push if I don't have a sled? And I'm like, well, first thing to understand is what muscle groups are you working when you do that movement, right? In that case, it was quads, right? Number one, pushing with our quads and calves, okay. Then the other thing was isolating, and this is just an example, isolating the upper body in a fixed position for an extended period of time, pushing a sled, right? So I told him, first of all, we could do a lunge, because we're kind of lunging when we do a sled push, and then hold a heavy dumbbell in this position fixed while we do a lunge. Basically mimics a sled push. So when we do the cable overhead tricep extension, which I'm about to show you, if you don't have that, same movement, just find the movement pattern. Work in the triceps, use a dumbbell or even a kettlebell. You can extend overhead, right? It's gonna do the same thing. So cable overhead extension, I get the cable into place and we're extending up. We're working the long head of the tricep because the tricep has 3 heads and has a long head, 2 short heads. So we're here. Good stretch. Remember, really want you to work on perfect form, feeling the muscle work. You don't have to go as heavy when your form's perfect because the muscle is gonna get fatigued a whole lot faster. Now, for sets and reps on this one, we're actually gonna cut back. So I want you to do 2 sets, one heavier one, one back off set. So a 6 to 8 rep set, followed by a back off set of 12 to 15 reps, okay? Smaller muscle group and a little more prone to overuse. Don't want any elbow tendonitis. Don't want you dealing with anything related to a tricep issue. So one heavier set and one back off set. Okay guys, so we are done with the upper body portion of push. So now we're gonna move into, as promised, our push lower body portion of the workout. We're just gonna do one exercise, okay? We're trying to get the lower body handled over the course of 3 days. So today I'm gonna actually do 2 lower body movements, but I'm gonna explain. One is our bread and butter, and then one is just to build what I think is one of the most important muscle groups in the body, and that is your glutes, all right, guys? You guys, more than anybody else, ignore your glutes, and then you wonder why you have lower back pain. You wonder why you can't run without pain. It's because you don't have strong glutes. So every day I'm gonna give you a glute exercise to do, maybe 2 on some of the days. But our push leg movement is walking lunges with dumbbells, okay? So we're gonna have a pair of dumbbells. All we need is a space to do a few steps. So we're gonna step out, come down, lightly touch the back knee, come up and reset, okay? Down, drive up. This actually works some of the glute too, especially if you lean forward at the hips, your glute really comes into action. Go back. Now you're probably wondering how many sets and reps. Well, shockingly, it's gonna be 6 to 8 steps per side, okay? Pick a weight that makes it challenging to get 6 to 8 reps per side. Now, all we're gonna do here is 2 sets, no back off sets this time. 6 to 8 reps per side each set, all right? No need, because we're gonna go do more volume here in the next couple days for our legs. I don't want you crazy sore, so we're just trying to get volume built up over the course of 3 days, all right? So that is your push leg movement. Let's wrap it up with a glute exercise that will really round things out and finish our workout today. All right guys, last exercise on day 1. We're kind of combining one of my favorite glute exercises with something that will still hit your quads a little bit, right? So we're still getting a little bit of push in. This is the box or bench step up with dumbbells, okay? So 1 foot up, knee should be about 90 degrees. We're gonna just drive through our glute. I like to do the same leg, 6 to 8 reps, okay? Drive through the glute, step up, and then we're gonna switch sides, okay? So we're here, drive up. And if you struggle with this, if the box is too high, just go a little lower, right? Step up onto a platform that's just a little bit lower. We're just trying to get the glute activated. And we're still getting some quad work. But if you really squeeze the glute before every rep, you'll feel that glute. It's almost all glute on this exercise. It looks like your quads are doing it, but it's really mostly glute, okay? So on this one, 2 sets, 10 to 12 reps per side. So we're going a little higher volume, not going crazy light, but at this point in the workout, you're pretty much done. So that wraps up day number 1, push day, chest, shoulders, triceps, quads with a little bit of glutes. Let's go into day number 2. All right guys, so day 2 is called pull. We're doing all the muscles in the body that pull weight closer to us. So our back, clearly probably the biggest one. Traps, it's another one. Rear delts, the back of the shoulder, okay, because the rear delt doesn't push away, it pulls. And we're gonna actually throw in our hamstrings and our glutes again, okay? So everything basically behind the body, it's called your posterior chain. It's all the muscle groups behind you. Most people should train with a little more volume with the back of their body because it doesn't get as much attention as the front of their body, all right? So we're gonna start out day number 2 with our warm up. I'm not gonna show you again, but similar to our day 1, make sure you get the blood flowing, prevent injury, get your heart rate up a little bit so you're ready for the workout. And then I suggest at least the first few exercises starting with 1 to maybe even 3 warm-up sets if you need it, just to feel fully prepared to train, all right? So we're gonna do a little bit more volume today because it's the back of our body, right? So we're doing, to start, Smith machine again. I love the Smith machine. As we get a little older, a little extra stability, using machines works really well. We're doing a bent over barbell row. Now, if you have lower back problems, if you are susceptible to pulling your lower back, I would suggest an incline bench dumbbell row, okay? So where you're laying flat on an incline bench, 2 dumbbells, and you're just driving back. Same exact movement pattern as what I'm about to show you. But if your lower back's pretty good, then the Smith machine bent over barbell row is one of my favorite isolation exercises for the back, okay? So we're gonna bend over about 45 degrees, and we're gonna drive our elbows back, squeeze the back at the top, right? Bar's gonna drift straight down over our toes. Squeeze. Now, sets and reps. We have 3 heavier sets. 6 to 8 reps for our heavy sets. 4 set, I want a back off set. 10 to 12 reps for set number 4. We're adding a little bit more volume, like I said, just because it doesn't get as much attention as the front of the body. So if you can't handle the bent over row with the barbell here on the Smith machine, like I said, just use the incline dumbbell row, okay? Or you can even do a T-bar row with a pad, T-bar machine where your body is once again stabilized using the pad in front of you, and all you're doing is you're using your arms as hooks to drive the weight back and work your back, okay? So that is the first exercise in our pull day. Let's go to exercise number 2. All right guys, so lat pull down is everybody's favorite back exercise. Everybody thinks it's a lat exercise for the side of your lats. It's really an upper back exercise, okay? So when you think about those guys with like really impressive upper backs, simply because they're super strong on a vertical pull. Vertical pull is just pulling in a vertical motion, right? Squeezing our upper back at the bottom. The barbell row that we just did, where it's more of a horizontal pull, that's what works the side of your back, the lats. It makes that wide V taper, but we still want a thick upper back. So here I don't like to go too wide, right? I don't want to super wide, just a little bit outside of shoulder width. Hook grip, so want to make sure your grip is like a hook. We're not using the bicep, or we're going to use a little bit of bicep, but we don't want the bicep taking over. So we're hooking full stretch of the back, and then we're just driving right below the chin, squeezing our upper back. Full stretch. I really like to feel my back stretch on these, and then I'm squeezing it, right? Like almost violently, without hurting yourself, obviously. Elevate your chest, squeeze. Okay, so similar to the row, we're gonna do a little more volume. So we're doing 4 sets again. So I want 3 heavy sets, 6 to 8 reps, going to failure on at least 2 of them, and then a back off set, 12 to 15 reps, okay, for your last set. 4 sets again, so we're just adding a little more volume to our pull day. So we've done a horizontal row, vertical row, Let's go handle two muscle groups that a lot of people neglect. We'll do our arms and then we'll finish up with some glutes. All right, so we're gonna go do some traps. One of my favorite trap exercises, and I'll show you what it is. Let's go. Exercise number 3, we're working our traps. I wanna show you guys a very uncommon trap exercise for some reason, but it's probably one of my favorites. This is the cable shrug, all right? To where we're using a cable station. Don't be afraid to go heavy here, one arm at a time, leaning away from a cable pulley attached to the bottom of a cable station. And we're gonna shrug our trap as high as we can before stretching it out as far as we can and repeating, okay? Do not be afraid to go heavy on this one, guys. Squeeze. All we're doing is 3 sets. 2 heavy ones, I'd say 6 to 8 reps, and then I don't mind a little higher reps, so 15 to 20 for your back off, okay? Just really get the volume here. So we're here. Whew. If you wanna have big traps, guys, it's not necessarily always about just doing shrugs. We wanna put our traps in a position to actually do what they're supposed to do, okay? The trap isn't just up here. It runs all the way down to the center of your back. It's like a big diamond shaped muscle, and it just, only thing you see is the front above your shoulders, right? But it runs down your entire back. So we wanna get a full stretch so that that trap elongates, and then squeeze the entire half of one side at a time to really put as much stress on the muscle as possible versus just a dumbbell shrug or a barbell that's just getting the top of the trap. Get the whole thing, okay? So once again, 3 sets, 2 heavy, 1 back off. If you don't have a cable station, you're sitting there going, well, thanks a lot, I don't have that. Just use a dumbbell. What I like to do is I'll grab something sturdy, hold a dumbbell in the offhand, and I'm just shrugging 1 arm at a time, okay? 1 arm at a time using a dumbbell. Same movement pattern, same result, baby. That is exercise number 3. Let's do often neglected rear delts next. Exercise number 4, rear delts, back of our shoulders. They get neglected so much. Simple movement, rope, face pulls. We're gonna attach a rope to the top of a cable station. We're gonna grip, thumbs up grip, right? So here, step back, arms stay parallel to our shoulder height. And all we're gonna do is try to touch imaginary Mickey Mouse ears on the side of my head. So here, don't need to go crazy heavy here, but we still want to go to mechanical failure, meaning your form should break down before the set is over. So what I want you to think about here is just 2 sets, okay? Quality reps. 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps. That's all we need. You've added a lot of volume by doing your back already. Your rear delts have gotten hit from doing some of the back exercises. So all we're doing is 2 sets and then we're moving on. Just don't skip this, all right? I'd rather see you cut back on volume on your big back movements, even like your second back movement, trap. The rear delt gets neglected, guys. Like, it's one of the reasons why your shoulders start to have issues, because they're rolling forward. You start to get tight up in here. Expand your upper body, get your posture right. Promise you, shoulders are gonna feel 10 times better. So don't skip your rear delts. Let's do everyone's favorite, some bicep curls, but I'm gonna show you a really awesome way that will help prevent some of the tendonitis that a lot of guys experience doing too much biceps. So let's jump into it. Last upper body exercise of our pull day. We are doing rope bicep curls. And I'm gonna take my shirt off because why not? All right, guys. Rope bicep curls is gonna be our bicep exercise. Once again, you can sub this out if you don't have a cable station with a dumbbell curl, a barbell curl, an easy bar curl. A curl is a curl for the most part. Yes, there's different curls. There's preacher curls, there's concentration curls, but those of you who suffer from bicep tendonitis or want to avoid it, I like the cable station. It just provides the perfect amount of tension all the way through the movement. Just for whatever reason, for me at least, I've had a lot of bicep tendonitis over the years. I tore my bicep years ago. Don't want that to happen again. So I like a lot of cable work for my bicep. All right, so we're here. We're trying to touch our pinky to our shoulder, all right? Down, full stretch, squeeze at the top. Now we're gonna do 2 sets because once again, I don't want your bicep getting just absolutely torched after having done a ton of back work. 1 heavy set, 6 to 10 reps. 1 lighter set, 10 to 15 reps. I say lighter, I still want you going to failure, but just back the weight off a little bit, all right? 2 sets when focused and you're in the zone and you're literally not distracted, you're just really pushing. 2 sets is enough for biceps at this point in the upper body day, in the upper body portion of the day, all right? So that wraps up our upper body. Let's touch up our lower body with a pull lower body exercise along with a glute exercise. All right guys, our pull lower body exercise is a lying leg curl, all right? This works our hamstrings, and believe it or not, it actually works our tie into our glute too. So lying leg curl. Okay, so we want the pad on our legs to be right above our Achilles, right above our heel. Similar to a bicep where we're just trying to work the hamstring, which is the tendons that run down the back of your leg. So we want to drive our hips into the pad. We don't want to come off the pad. We just want our hamstrings to do all the work. Full stretch, squeeze, just like a bicep, okay? Hence why this is a pull day. We're just pulling weight with our hamstring. So we're gonna do 3 sets, 2 heavier sets, 6 to 8, and then a back off set, all right? 10 to 12. I like going heavier on the hamstring. Hamstring can handle a lot of weight, all right? So tomorrow or on day 3, we're gonna do a little bit more of glute and hamstring work for density day, but that is our isolation exercise for the lower half, the lying hamstring curl. Now let's go do one of my favorite glute and lower back exercise, the back extension. All right guys, wrapping up pull day. We're doing one of my favorite glute and lower back exercise, the weighted back extension, okay? So we're gonna find a back extension machine and we're gonna line it up with the crease in our hips, feet pointed out so we isolate the glutes on the way up. We can use a plate, a dumbbell, or in my case, I'm using an easy bar. Arms stay straight, bending at the hips, squeeze up. Here, squeeze the glute and the lower back. Now, this one gets hard quick. So if you can't do what I'm gonna recommend, which is 8 to 10, 8 to 12 reps for 2 sets, go no weight, just do it with body weight, okay? We're really just trying to get that little bit of extra glute and lower back work, strengthen our core, strengthen our glutes. Over time, you'll get stronger and be able to add weight. So that wraps up day number 2. Let's round it out with our density day, day number 3, and you'll be completely set for your entire week of workouts. Let's go to day 3. All right, guys, we made it to day number 3. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Do I just need 3 days a week? Of course. I mean, at the end of the day, if your program is built properly, you have the right amount of volume, right amount of sets going to failure, hitting the entire body at least once or twice a week, you could train twice a week if that's the only time you got. I like, for my guys, my high performers, right, running big businesses, running companies, managing travel, managing being a dad, a husband, trying to do all the things, right? I don't like to bombard you with workouts. Now, that being said, I will show you a little secret at the end of the video about how to get in the gym every day or just do something every day if that's your thing. But for our focused bread and butter workouts, 3, maybe 4 a week is fine. Here's another thought. If I have my workouts broken up into 3 days, what if I don't get everything done in a couple of them, right? What if I have to cut my time short? Well, that's why I leave a day, right? 4th day. If you're like, oh, I can totally train 4 days a week, I say, hey, cool, that's great. Leave that 4th day for like our backup. Whatever we don't get done, just do it on day number 4. As long as it gets done, then we're good. Like, you don't have to do it exactly in the order I tell you. Ideally, yes, but we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world where getting it done is better than nothing, okay? So get it done. That's why I say 3 days, leave a 4th for emergency or just a backup. If you happen to have time to train 6, 7 days a week, cool. But at the end of the day, you don't have to do that, all right? So day number 3 is what I call our, kind of like our Greek god physique, or just doing all the things that are gonna really round out our body, okay? Most of the stuff here will be stuff that most guys ignore, but will really make your body pop aesthetically, but also when you're doing athletic stuff, or you want to go out and run, or you want to just feel good, this is stuff that's going to help you perform better, okay? It's also going to help you look good in a shirt, look good in pants. We're talking about building our glutes, building our V-taper, a back that really stands out and says, this guy takes care of himself. That's what day 3 is all about, okay? So, first one up is a Romanian deadlift. A Romanian deadlift is a version of the deadlift that works our glutes and our hamstrings and our lower back, okay? So you can do this with a barbell. You can do this with a machine. If you have a deadlift machine, you can also do this with dumbbells, which we're gonna do now. Very simple. Dumbbells are gonna be by our sides. We're going to have a slight soft knee setup where our knees have a little bit of give. We're not bending too far, just a little give. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna press our butt towards the wall, okay? Let the dumbbells go all the way down. Feel the stretch in the glutes and the hamstrings, and then we're squeezing up, okay? Down, squeeze. Down, squeeze to the top. This is the dumbbell Romanian deadlift, and it's starting off our day 3. Now, I failed to mention, but if you've made it this far in the video, leave me a comment, let me know if this is helpful. If you like these longer videos, full workouts, full week workouts, let me know in the comments. But I failed to mention that you gotta warm up. But it's the same warm up as days 1, days 2. Walk on the treadmill, elliptical, get the blood flowing. A couple light sets of your first couple exercises, and then get into the work, okay? Speaking of work, we're doing 2 heavy sets here, 6 to 8 reps, followed by, you guessed it, a back off set. Now, this is probably a good time to tell you, for the back off set, 10 to 12 reps as usual. But here's how we progress. First way to progress in all your workouts is get stronger over time. Same reps, just add weight. That's the first way to progress. Second way to progress is adding volume, okay? Doing more reps with the same weight. So if you're able to do 50-pound dumbbells for 6 reps, you might stick with 50-pound dumbbells until you can do 8 reps. That's progress. So you get to the top of your target rep range, okay? Sticking with me here? Cool. Now, once you've done that and you're like, well, I've kind of tapped out, not really getting stronger, can't do more reps, what do I do? Well, you might change the variation of the exercise. So you might go from a dumbbell Romanian deadlift to a barbell Romanian deadlift, right? That'll provide a slightly different stimulus, same movement pattern. You add weight to that until you can't progress anymore. Now, over time, to your key exercises, what I mean by key are usually the first ones you do each day. You might add a set, okay? So if I'm doing 3 now, I might add a 4th, all right, down the line. 4th set will provide just that extra volume to keep my body sending that signal to build more muscle, okay? So just a note on progression, that's something to think about. We don't need to get into the weeds on that just yet, but that's how we progress over time. So that's exercise number 1, the dumbbell Romanian deadlift or barbell, whatever you prefer. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, exercise number 2, glute abductors. Guys, don't do this, but you want strong and powerful glutes, standing out in pants, looking strong like an athlete. We got to throw these in. So I like to do them after we've fatigued our glutes on the Romanian deadlift, which we did first. All right, so the glutes are a little fatigued now. We're moving into more of an isolation exercise. It's the outer part of the glute. So abductor machine, we're pushing the weight away. Okay, adductors, we're bringing it in, the inner part of our thighs, right? But abductors, we're pushing out. So drive out, slow and control, you'll feel it right there. You can even put your hand on the outer part of your glute. Squeeze. Don't be afraid to go heavy on these either, guys. As long as you can get that drive all the way out. We're gonna do 3 sets here, 2 heavy, 1 back off, all right? So I like to do 2 8 to 10 sets and then 1 15 to 20. So really get some high reps in. Still, once again, it's not about just light weight. It's about going to failure in that rep range. Can't stress that enough, all right? All rep ranges build muscle. Just want to provide enough volume to where you're actually getting enough volume throughout the course of the week on all the muscle groups that you need to be training. All right, so that's exercise number 2. All right, guys, if you remember on day 1, we did our chest, shoulders, and triceps, but we didn't hit an overhead shoulder press. I wanted to save that for day 3 because I want to save you time. And I want you to be able to train your shoulders when you're a little stronger, because if we do shoulder press right after chest press, our shoulders just aren't as strong. So I'm putting it on day 3, and we're gonna do, in this case, a dumbbell seated overhead shoulder press. So we get a full range of motion, good stretch, driving the dumbbells overhead, okay? Here, down, driving up, stretch, drive. Now, once again, don't need a ton of volume. So we're only gonna do 3 sets, 2 heavier sets, 6 to 8 reps, 1 back off set. You guys know the drill at this point, but just wanna make sure I repeat it so you guys got it. If, by the way, you need a starting full body transformation plan, go to the description of this video and check out our 3M action plan. I put a link where you can download everything you need to know to get started to lose body fat, transform your physique, and ultimately feel like a champion when it comes to your fitness. That's our 3M action plan. You can go download it for free right now. It's in the description of this video. You got a full workout plan. Now you can combine it with the right cardio and nutrition setup to really start getting results. If you're interested in our coaching program, you can check that out too. It's in the description and in the first comment of this video. But I personally only work with guys over the age of 40 who have families, a busy career, and ultimately want a sustainable fitness plan that doesn't require cutting out family time or work time. You want to look good, feel good, and perform good. That's for you. So check that out. All right, guys, exercise number 4, we're almost done. So we're gonna work our traps, 2 sets, 1 heavy, 1 back off. So 8 to 10, 10 to 15, okay? This is a hammer strength deadlift machine, but you can use it for a shrug. If you have a trap bar, you could also do this. I want a wider grip. You could also take dumbbells, hold them out at your sides and do a wide dumbbell shrug if you don't have these pieces of equipment, but we're gonna stand here and all we're doing is driving our traps straight up, okay? Full stretch, driving them straight up. We wanna really round out our physique, keep our traps nice and strong, build up that V-taper, and have that impressive upper body shelf, okay? So we're just doing 2 more sets of traps, and that is exercise number 4. We're gonna finish the day with a little ab circuit, and then your week will be complete. So let's do that. Get the hell out of here so I can take pictures and go. Guys, we're done with our week. All we got left is core, okay? So I'm just gonna do my 2 favorite core exercises. Very simple stuff, somewhat challenging, but you can work your way up to it, okay? Most of you will be able to do this no problem at all. First one is a cable rope crunch. Top of a cable station, attach a rope attachment. We're gonna come down on our knees, and we're just doing a crunch. We're locking in the weight next to our head. We don't wanna be pulling the cable with our hands. We're here, and we're just driving down, just like a crunch on the floor, except we're using resistance this time. Exhaling out, up, driving down. That's our upper ab exercise, okay? Now, we're gonna rest about 30 seconds. Then we're gonna jump into our second ab exercise, which is our lower ab exercise. We're gonna do L raises with our knees. Now, we're not doing hanging leg raises. A lot of people can't do that. Even I, at times, struggle with that because it's very hard. Instead, what we're gonna do, we're gonna hang from a pull-up bar. Here, legs are in an L, and all we're doing, driving our knees to our chest. A little hack on this one, you can cross at the ankles if you really want to isolate the abs a little bit more. So I'll show you what that looks like. So we're here. Really just want to try to curl our pelvis up and into a crunch, but a reverse crunch, okay? So trying to drive our knees towards our chest, squeezing our lower abs. Don't need to go fast. It's not a race. And honestly, you don't need a lot of reps if you slow this one down. So we're gonna go back and forth between those two, 3 rounds, okay? I like to aim for 12 to 15 reps. You don't need to go crazy high reps with training core, all right? We wanna build our ab muscles, and you'll start to actually see more ab definition the thicker you make your abs. So that wraps up day 3. Let's finish up the week with what you should do from here, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. All right, guys, that gives you a full week of workouts, specifically for the guy who only has 3 days a week to train, who wants to get it all in and still manage family, work, social, travel, all the stuff you have going on. So what if you want to come to the gym more? What should you be doing? Or what should you be doing on the other 4 days of the week if you only train 3 days a week? Well, the simple recommendation is to walk more. I know that sounds incredibly basic, but walking, in my opinion, is what turns your physique into a fat burning machine. What I mean by that is you're just simply burning more calories, right? So on our off days, we don't want to just sit around doing work, eating whatever. We want to focus on our nutrition, but we want to get more activity in. That'll actually help your body recover from the workouts you're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, however you set it up, which is also a good point to remind you, give yourself at least a day between workouts. You're training pretty smart, you're training pretty heavy, but your body still needs recovery, all right? So make sure you give yourself about 48 hours between training sessions. Now, once again, I'm just gonna tell you, if you gotta do it 3 days in a row some weeks because that's just the time that you have, cool, I get it, right? Get it done. But in a perfect world, or at least an ideal world, try to break it up with a day between. So on off days, we're walking. Now, even on training days, I suggest you walk more. I like to start my guys anywhere from 8 to 10,000 steps a day, and then we progress as needed depending on your goals. Speaking of your goals, if you have big goals this year, if health is a priority, and you know, hey, I've tried doing this on my own for years, and I just keep spinning my wheels. I'm not sure if I'm carb sensitive. I'm not sure if I'm doing the right workouts. How heavy should I be training? What exercise should I be doing? Well, I can take all the guesswork out of that for you. I've been training guys and coaching guys for the better part of 20 years. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's if you want to speed things up, invest in a coach. It's probably the fastest way to get to your goals, whether it's health related, financially related, marriage, whatever it is in your world that you want to improve, coaching is the answer to make it happen faster. So if you're interested in our coaching program, we're the True Transformation. We help guys go from unsustainable results, unsustainable fitness plans to becoming a champion with a sustainable fitness routine that fits into your lifestyle permanently from now until whenever you pass. So that being said, check out the links in the description. That'll lead you to our coaching programs. Also the first comment, I have it pinned if you want to check out our VIP coaching system. In the meantime, let me know in the comments below, was this long week of workouts helpful? Do you like these longer videos? If you do, I'm gonna keep making them for you. If you hate them and you don't watch them, then I'll make shorter stuff, no problem at all. But I'd love to hear back from you. Is this helpful? Save this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, life moves fast. Make it count. Talk to you on the next video. Peace.